Hello, Clint Jolly here with Butcher Boy Meats in Reno, Nevada. Hanging out in the backyard doing some grilling, giving you guys some good tips on how to turn out some awesome meals on the grill in your own backyard for your friends and your family. We're gonna do high heat grilling with a thin cut of meat right now, and we've chosen a skirt steak. So a skirt steak, as you can see, not super thick, right? It's nice and flat and wide. Really interesting grain structure because the grain is super long and runs across that short length of it there. Works best, they're awesome with a marinade, you know, teriyaki, barbecue style, whatever kind of marinade you love. Works really good with a rub, with a seasoning. We're gonna keep it kind of simple because we want that meat to shine through with just doing some salt and pepper on it. But with this cut of meat, since it's so thin, we wanna cook it over high heat and we wanna get it up to temperature really quick and then let it rest. We don't wanna go low and slow on it because it's just gonna cook all the way through by the time we get a crust on the outside. So like I said, seasoning first, keeping it simple here, kosher salt, cracked black pepper, a good layer all across that guy. So we got that salt and pepper, nice little layer on there. We're gonna pat it in, make sure it sticks to the meat. Fresh ground pepper, I like it nice and coarse. Gets you like good spice, gives you a good crunch on there. And we're gonna cook this on the gas grill. So we've got that thing on for about 10 minutes on this guy. The thermometer at the top is about 500 degrees. We really want it scorching. All right, 500 degree grill, nice and hot. We're gonna put this right over the burners, right on direct hot heat. Another little tip from us, barbecuehooks.com, or of course available at Butcher Boy. These guys make, right here in the USA, these barbecue hooks. Awesome little angle, it's super sharp right at the point, and it just lets you pick up and move your meat around without putting big holes in it, and a little bit easier than tongs. You can, as you can see, you can pick it up really easy instead of you know, a pair of tongs, which things kind of slip around. Like I said, that goes right there. We're gonna leave the lid up because this thing's only gonna take about 8 to 10 minutes total to get cooked. So I said we've gone about 5 minutes on that one side. We're gonna give it a nice little flip there. You can see we've got some nice browning going on. Again, we're gonna cook this quick over high heat, so we've got it right in the hottest part of the grill. About 5 minutes, it's only gonna take maybe 3 or so on the other side. Once it starts getting brown, we're gonna pull that guy off. All right, now we've got that guy browning on both sides. One tip to tell when a thin piece of meat like this is done, works really well on hamburgers as well, is when you see the blood coming up to the top of it and that juice, you know that it's time to flip it or time to take it off. So this guy we're just gonna pull off. We're gonna let it rest for a couple minutes. Again, we're just gonna throw some foil over it, nice and loose. Let it sit for about 4 or 5 minutes. Doesn't take too long, but we wanna let it rest and let all those juices just soak right back into the meat. So we've let the skirt steak here rest about 4 or 5 minutes. Let all those juices suck back up in there so they don't run out on the cutting board too much. We'll slice into this. So we mentioned earlier that the grain on this skirt steak runs along the short end of it, and they're nice and long. So we actually want to serve it sliced across that grain, always on any cut of meat that you do. So for this, instead of cutting, you know, big 10-inch pieces, we're just going to cut a nice small chunk off of it and then go slice across the grain. So we can put that right on the plate like that. And you can see all that nice yummy juice. It's cooked about medium rare in there. Super tasty, nice little crust on the outside. Slice it a little bit of an angle, gives you a nicer sized piece for the plate so they aren't so skinny. And there you have it. Same thing would work on a flank steak. Flat iron's gonna be really similar. They're a little bit thicker, so you have to go a little bit longer, but the same idea. Nice high heat, about halfway on each side, one flip in the middle. Good seasoning, make sure it's tempered before you put it on the grill. So it comes out of the refrigeration on these guys about 15 minutes or so before you're gonna cook it. Let it come up to temperature a little bit before you start going. And that's it, good yummy skirt steak. Enjoy.